Boy, it's getting that time of year where it's just hot and you need to cool off. And I was asking y'all on the Facebooks, hey, how you gonna do it? Now, if you got a swamp cooler and you're gonna stay in your trailer and you can do that and stay cool, but once that thing goes out, you're in a world of hurt. You can walk around the Walmarts all you want and cool off, but sometimes you just need to hit that water. So I ask y'all, is it the water park that you're gonna go to, or are you gonna go to the river? And I got some good answers on the Facebook. I want to read some of them to you. I got it here in my notebook. April said she mentioned the water. At the water parks, you can see what you're swimming in because it's clear. And then at the river, it ain't clear. You don't know what you're swimming in. But I don't know if those are good or bad because you may not want to know what you're swimming in. Stacy voted for the river, but she did say there are rules for attire at a water park, which may be a good thing. Jim said you're going to get tattoos at both places, but I couldn't tell if that was a pro or a con because you see more tattoos in the summer anyway. Rusty Tidwell, I thought he always had a bird on his shoulder here, but boy, when he got to the pool, you find out it's a long neck crane, and that neck goes down over here and down his back, and then his feet are right there on his low back down there. That thing covered the whole back side of Rusty Tidwell, and I didn't know it. It's good. It ain't better than the painting that's on the tailgate of his truck. That's a beautiful thing, but it's a pretty good artwork. David said picking up speed. And that's water park only, buddy. You get down a water slide, boy, and you can pick up speed like nobody's business, boy, and you can skid across that until you go under that water. That's a lot of fun. You can't find that. Now, some rivers that you go to, you're going to get a rope swing, and you'll get some different ways to catapult you into the water. But it's a little different at the water park. You can get pretty fast and furious down them slides. I give you that one, David. Todd said there's no catfish at the water park. And that's true, boy. You can go swimming at a river and end up with supper just like that. And Alan mentioned free supper because some folks on the river, they lose a cooler and it just floats downstream to you. And it's just like a dream come true. All of a sudden, you got a cooler full of sandwiches and snacks and all kinds of food that just got hand delivered to you because somebody's careless in a canoe. Mike said the music's better at the river. You know, you don't have to listen to the water park soundtrack, I guess, there. Carla's a boat for the river. She just said river. She didn't give a reason. She just said, hey, that's that. Everybody knows that kind of thing. Gina mentioned you can pee in a river, but you can pee in a water park too. It's just more obvious, I guess. So that's kind of like it could be a sewer either way. A couple people said that. Y'all said, boy, you don't know what people are doing in that water, but that's everywhere. That's the risk you're going to take unless you got a private one of them fancy above the ground pools. But Andrew is thinking on the right track. He said you go to the water park, they already got the corn dog cooked for you. So you ain't got to do no preparation. You just walk up there and say, here you go, and they say, here you go, and then you eat and you're back in the water like that away. April mentioned it's safer to run in the mud than on concrete. That's true too. A little safer at the river in that respect. Stacy mentioned you can wear your cutoff jean shorts at the river. Boy, don't I know that. Don't I know that. I do a cannonball in them things. Aerodynamics, what they are. Gina also said the river may be more entertaining because people feel more free at the river, you know. You can just bring an armchair and watch people do their thing at the river, and that could be like a whole afternoon and evening's entertainment. And Jen, she mentioned it's crowded at a water park. That's true. You go to the wrong part of the river too, though, it gets crowded, so that's another thing. Robert said the pros about the river, there's no lifeguard who tells you can't be chicken fighting. That's pretty awesome. Lauren said it's like swimming in E. coli tea at a water park. Now, although I've never swam in E. coli tea that I know of, Lauren put it together in my head in such a way that I think I don't ever want to swim in E. coli tea. And Joni made one of my favorite points. She said a few things on the Facebook, but one of my favorites was country singers sing about the river. Ain't never heard of one singing about a water park. That's a pretty good point. Well, it looks like the river is the winner. People want to go to the river. There's a lot of reasons that you just heard of why. What do you think? Do you like the river or the water park? Or neither? And if it's neither, then what are you going to do this summer to cool off? I want to know. We'll see you later. Comment below and let me know.